Hey you guys, it's your girl Internet, and today I be coming at you with the reaction, and it's called "This Woman Did What on a Plane" with Candace Owens. I have never flew before, so I'm just gonna say that. I know I would probably freak out too and probably take everything in defense because I'm so scared. So I don't know, is this the case with this woman or is she just, you know, but I've never flew before. I don't know what it's like if anyone, because like my family want me to go on a plane so bad. Like, I'm terrified. I'm scared. I'm like, a lot of people like, it's not nothing to be scared about, but I'm just so nervous. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn your notifications on so you can see me. And let's see what this lady did on the plane. Hope it wasn't nothing too serious.
All right, guys, happy Monday. Question of the day, we'll jump right into it. Why are people so mentally unstable on flights? I mean, you guys know I consider myself to be the chief police of the air and the skies, and I'm fascinated by this. It's a conundrum. I don't understand what's happening. Do we step through a portal when we get to the airports here in America, or everybody just loses their collective mind? That's what I want to know. Plus, later on in the show, a woman who was threatened by a homeless man on the subway says that she wishes the vigilante man who saved her with a gun didn't use a weapon. Yes. He should have just let her die, I guess, or something. All that and more today coming up on Candace Owens. I don't know how these stories land on my lap. It seems like every day we have more people that are mentally unstable, that feel the need to board planes and to present themselves to people that are just trying to travel and to say, you have to deal with me now and my mental instability. So just to be clear, let's back this up. You guys know, if you're listening to this podcast, that I have a very steep, a very rich history of confrontations at the airport because I don't tolerate it. Least of all when I am this pregnant. Least of all when I am this pregnant do I tolerate human beings that are acting selfish and narcissistic, which seems to be just the program we are all on today at airports. Just poor behavior, adults that are acting worse than their children.
Is she pregnant now? Congratulations, Candace. Oh, congratulations.
Give me one such example. I talked about it many, many moons ago, but a woman, it was a Puerto Rican woman who was boarding a flight. She was sitting next to me at the front of the cabin. She had a 2-year-old daughter with her. This woman was a mess. You could just tell this is a woman who doesn't read Jordan Peterson. This woman does not make her bed in the morning. She basically had packed up her daughter's stroller with everything that she was going to be wearing for the next 5 days. Her daughter's stroller basically was the suitcase. I knew right when I sat down next to her, I didn't want to be there. I just knew it wasn't going to be a good situation. She sits her daughter on her lap after she piles all of her random paraphernalia into the overhead cabin. And she realizes that she hasn't packed headphones for her daughter. She just opens the iPad and she just plays her daughter's cartoon. Okay, I guess we're all, for the next 3 hours, going to have to listen to Blue's Clues and Scooby-Doo because your mommy doesn't have her together. That was pretty much her program. And I looked at her and I was like, no. You headphones, obviously, because I'm here. I'm going to take a nap for the next 3 hours. And she's like, I don't have any headphones. She points to her daughter like, don't you feel bad? I have a 2-year-old. Don't you feel bad? No, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad that you were not prepared to take this flight. I don't feel bad. You're like the kind of person that hit snooze on your alarm 6 times this morning, decided to run out of your door, pack a suitcase in the form of your daughter's stroller, and now you've realized that you don't have any headphones, despite the fact that they sell them every 5 feet at the airport. My answer is no. So I'm not okay with this. And she looked at me like, I'm going to have to be okay with this. And I'm like, definitely not going to be okay with this. And I raised my hand.
Candace, you don't have to. Maybe it was the hormones for you. Calm down. I mean, it's just Blue's Clues. I'm like, come on, it's okay. Your hormones just flaring up. I'm like, if you had kids, you ought to know kids do that. Like, I mean, like, I'm pretty sure you used to watching Blue's Clues and stuff like that with your kids. Like, it's okay.
Because you guys know I'm a tattletale, I'm a snitch. And I had the person come over, the stewardess come over, and they told her, unfortunately, you're going to have to turn off your iPad because the whole cabin is not required to listen to Scooby-Doo today because you didn't have your ish together. So that's where I'm at airplanes. I don't care. I am the bad guy. I looked at the daughter, the little 2-year-old. We had an understanding. She kind of agreed with me. She kind of knew that her mother didn't have her ish together. And she was very well behaved for the rest of the flight. She just didn't get to watch her Scooby-Doo cartoons. Does that sound cold-blooded? Well, I am cold-blooded, especially when I'm at the airport and people are misbehaving. So imagine how I felt when I saw this video, which has emerged. Now, the woman that we are going to be reporting on today, her name is Bobby Storm. And Bobby Storm boarded this Delta flight, and she says that she felt the Spirit of God come over her, and the Lord told her that everybody on the plane would want to hear her sing because she's a singer. Yeah, she's actually a Detroit-born vocalist that is featured on the Grammys 2024 Best Gospel Album nominee, The Maverick Way, by Christian group Maverick City Music. So she's got a small feature, and she's up for a Grammy. And so this let her know that obviously the Lord was working through her when she boarded this flight, and everybody would want to hear her sing. And what ended up happening as she stood up to speak to everyone at the airport and say, I'm going to sing for you, is that a flight attendant intervened and said, this is not appropriate. Take a listen.
But they're enjoying it. So while we're sitting here, could I please?
I'm not enjoying it. So I'm asking you, can you be quiet?
Okay, well, I'll find that up.
That's a yes or no answer, please.
Am I going to go to jail if I don't?
Can you please answer my question? Are you willing and able to be quiet right now?
I'm doing what the Lord is telling me to do.
I'm asking you a question, yes or no. I'm your flight leader. I need you to follow my instruction.
Okay.
My instruction for you to answer my question. Are you able to be quiet
What do you guys think?
I'm asking you, ma'am.
I'm asking you guys. What do you guys think?
Okay. If you're not able to follow my instruction, you will not be taking this flight.
Okay.
Are you able to be quiet?
If that's the case, then that's fine. If you were the
So that's
person
yes?
in charge of it all.
I'm your flight leader, yes.
If you're the person in charge of it all, then that's fine.
All right. Thank you.
So I'll sing it on the low for y'all in the back, if that's okay. All right. So the song is called We Can't Forget 'Em. All right. And you can download it.
You gotta love that. He walks away, and then she says, I'll just sing it on the low for you guys here. You guys that are around, because obviously you guys want me to bless you with my talents. And I felt the Lord working through me. And clearly, thank goodness that this flight attendant happened to be Black, because otherwise this would have turned into an entire story about how a white flight attendant didn't want her to use her God-given talents to elevate the room. I can't even imagine being on this flight. Maybe you bought a book. Maybe you bought some headphones because you had your collective ish together that morning. Maybe you decided you were going to take a nap. And now you've got this woman who just believes that every single person wants to hear her sing because she's a narcissist, because she doesn't want to acknowledge the fact that she's a selfish narcissist. She instead puts this on God. She says, like, oh, no, this is actually what the Lord wants me to do. Incredibly, and by the way, I want to make this very clear, there is no one that agrees with what she did. Incredibly, she then took to Instagram to follow up on this story and to make it clear to people that she didn't want the flight attendant, as she released this video, to be fired. That she recognizes that he made a big mistake. She claims that Delta followed up with her and that they apologized to her for her experience of not being able to deliver a concert while they were in the air. Take a listen to what she said on Instagram.
I don't want this man to be reprimanded where he loses his job. I simply want us to keep in mind how to treat each other. And there was no rules being broken. And it was just me spreading my joy with people after they gave me the go to do so. So I just hope that if he watches this, he's able to learn a valuable lesson on how to treat other people.
I mean, it is just absolutely incredible. Seriously, I want to speak to this woman. This is what happens when we just have an entire country that is just filled with people that are suffering from various mental health issues. I can't even imagine boarding a plane just being like, you know what, I'm a podcaster and I do a show every day. And I'm so glad that I have an audience here that is required to sit for the next 2 hours. And the Lord is speaking through me. And so I'm going to talk to you about random political topics because I am Candace Owens. You can find me on Spotify. You can find me on Apple. You can find me wherever you listen. But the Lord is telling me to do my podcast live. So welcome to Candace Owens. And then when a flight attendant tells me that obviously this is not allowed, what is she? She's saying there's no rule against this. Yes, there is very much rules against being intentionally disruptive on flights. You need to behave like an adult on a flight and recognize that people are paying not because they want to hear you sing gospel, because guess what, princess? Not everybody likes gospel music. I don't know a single person that everybody likes to hear sing, even people that are loved, like Beyonce. My mom cannot stand Beyonce's voice. Now, I don't feel the same. She thinks it's shrieky and it's annoying. So if Beyonce got up on my mom's flight and started singing, my mom would be like, please sit down. This is not what I paid for. That's how it works. Could you imagine if somebody who sings heavy metal, which to me, I know you guys hate me for this. Some of you guys are like, no, Candace, get into it. I'm never going to be into heavy metal. Someone just got up and was like, well, it's not against the flight rules. I'm just going to start shrieking heavy metal at you. Ozzy Osbourne's going to be coming at you right now. I mean, who do you think you are? You have to be demented. And it brings me great warmth to know that the rest of the world is not crazy and that people in the comments just completely tear her apart on Instagram, remind her this has nothing to do with God and has everything to do with your low IQ mixed in with a little bit of narcissism. Sean wrote under her IG video, did God tell you to name drop all the people that you produced your album too? Because she does that in the video. This person, I am Gina, writes, you should have just been quiet. The Lord had nothing to do with that. Yes, obviously. This third person, I am Trey, writes, you were out of order, point blank, period. And you using God as a shield and clout to have your way is late and lame. Obedience is better than sacrifice. You are prideful. This is not how Jesus would conduct himself. This man is at work. You are literally disrespecting him in his workplace. The aircraft is not your stage. Not everyone around you wants to hear you sing or even cares about your Grammy nominations. God does things decent and in order, not the way you are acting. You need to have a slice of humble pie, sis, because this ain't it. I am actually embarrassed for you. Trey, round of applause. This person writes, sorry, sis, it's out of order. Did not seem like God's character at all. Well, ladies and gentlemen, she persisted. She insisted to herself, I guess, that people in the comments just weren't privy to the background of the story. And so she shares it. And really what happened was she realized that after the plane was facing some mechanical issues, that the mechanical issues weren't happening because that happens on a lot of these ghetto planes, but because God was using it as a way to intervene and tell her that this was her moment.
As I'm sitting in my seat, I'm telling my neighbor, I really want to get up and sing on this flight. And she's like, sing on a flight? And I'm like, yeah, I used to do that back in the day, and I'm feeling it right now. I haven't done it in years, but I'm feeling like sharing my joy with people because I just got nominated for the first time for a Grammy. And all of a sudden, they made an announcement and said, we have to go back to the gate. There's a brief maintenance issue. So for those of you with the connection, you have the option to get off or whatever the case may be, but we have to go back to the gate. I knew instantly that was God.
I don't know what to say other than what I began with. Clearly, there's a magical portal that we are all stepping through when we get to the airport and people become clinically insane. That's what happens at the airports. And they are convinced that their very poor behavior is somebody else's fault. In this case, she believes that it is the Lord that is speaking through her, when in reality, it is because she is not fit to fly in the skies. That's what I think about you, Bobby Storm. If I was on that flight, thankfully I was not, but if I was on that flight, it wouldn't have been just a flight attendant that told you that it was time for you to be quiet. And that's all I have to say about that.
Candace, you did not have to do this lady like that. Oh my God. You are such a pit bull. I don't know air etiquette, but I mean, like, that is so true. Everybody don't want to hear that or whatever like that. But like, if you felt the joy that you wanted to sing, you could have hummed or something like that. I mean, some people think humming is way worse than just singing out loud. But I get it. I really do. I get that part, but sometimes people can take it a little too far. I don't know, did she do that? But she was just really happy that she had like her Grammy nominee, and so she just felt joy. And my thing of it is, I kind of was thinking like she was like, the reason why she felt like that is because like the people said we got to go back to the gate, because they could have been 2 hours in, way away from wherever they supposed to been going, but just so happened that the technical difficulties started like where they was able to go back in a hurry, so they could get whatever was wrong with the plane corrected or whatever, like the maintenance issues or whatever. So that's how I was looking at it. Like, maybe she was just thanking the Lord that like we didn't get too far out and like we all could have died or whatever like that. So I mean, like, I would kind of look at it at all the sides, not just that. So I'm thinking like she could have been just thanking the Lord that we didn't get too far gone and we couldn't turn around or whatever like that. And then like it could have got worse and then we just all died. Like, now you see why I'm scared to get on the plane. Like, oh my goodness. And then like, I know some people don't like gospel music. They don't. Everybody got their own kind of music they listen to. Like, I like old gospel music. I don't like the new gospel music except for some of it, like by Tamla Mann. I like her gospel music. That's about it. All the rest of them, I like old gospel music, like, because like I said, I live in the South. I'm used to some hymns. I'm used to them like that. But yeah, you guys just tell me what y'all think about this. And because like I said, I don't know air etiquette, but I know when I'm in like the doctor's office and stuff like that, I don't want to hear all them kids crying, and I don't want to hear that. I'd rather listen to Blue's Clues, Dora, all of them, than crying. So she could have played, but I don't care, because I'm still a kid at heart too. So I would have been watching Blue's Clues. I'm just not with all that, because like when I was young, my mom used to watch cartoons with us. When my daughter was young and still is, I watch cartoons with her sometimes because they be want to hog the TV and stuff, and I just don't believe in just throwing a tablet in her hand or whatever. She got her screen time and then she get off. But you guys, y'all tell me what y'all think about it, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye, you guys.